20 animals that took on the wrong opponent. Get ready to witness the most impressive strength, cunning, and instincts of the animal kingdom. From agile predators to seemingly harmless creatures, these animals prove that underestimating your opponent can be a fatal mistake. Who will come out on top? Who has brute strength? Who has impenetrable defense? Discover stories of courage, strategy, and pure wildness, and see who is truly the strongest when nature decides to show who's in charge. Think you know who would win? Think again. But before we start, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now, let's begin. Number 20, Dingo versus Kangaroo. The Australian sun scorches the red desert ground, and the air vibrates as if the heat itself wants to watch the show about to unfold. On one side, the dingo, lean, agile, with the eyes of one who has seen the world and is no longer impressed by anything. On the other, the kangaroo, a wall of muscles and legs that resemble steel springs. Two symbols of Australia, two different ways to survive. And on this stage of dust and instinct, there's only room for one king. The dingo is a natural strategist. It doesn't attack impulsively. It circles, analyzes, measures every move of its opponent. It is the product of thousands of years of desert evolution. A predator that has learned patience kills more than claws. Its bite can deliver up to 500 newtons of force, enough to tear thick flesh and pierce tendons. And what it lacks in size, it makes up for in precision. Dingo is speed, calculation, and persistence. It hunts in packs, but even alone it is a sand phantom, appearing and disappearing before the enemy realizes what happened. The kangaroo is a different story. Forget the cute cartoon image. We're talking about an animal that can reach 2 meters tall and deliver kicks equivalent to over 700 kilos of pressure. Every strike is a catapult of pure kinetic energy. It uses its tail for support, lifts both front legs, and launches a kick that, if it lands, turns bones into memories. And it's not just brute strength, there's technique. The kangaroo knows how to use balance and terrain. Every jump is an evasion, every spin a promise of impact. In a direct confrontation, the dingo relies on agility and sense of smell. The kangaroo on endurance and impact power. The dingo tries to tire, circle, force mistakes. The kangaroo responds with explosive power, using its entire body as a weapon. If this duel were a chess game, the dingo would be the patient strategist, the kangaroo the rook moving across the board in one strike. But in real combat, nature doesn't allow ties. The kangaroo is the tank, tough, heavy, relentless. The dingo is the hunter, clever, lethal, opportunistic. Still, in a one-on-one fight in an open field, without ambush opportunities, the kangaroo has the edge. It is pure biomechanics in the form of punch and kick. A wrestling athlete of the savannah, master of the stage, and the dust. Now, if it were a pack, then the game would change. 10 dingoes against one kangaroo would have a different outcome. But that's not how it works today. The sun sets, the wind carries the dust, and the kangaroo remains standing. Lord of the desert. And you there on the other side of the screen, who were you rooting for, huh? The silent strategist or the bouncing boxer? Be careful, because on your next outback hike, you might end up being the referee of a rematch. Number 19, Snake versus Hedgehog. Snake versus Hedgehog, the battle of venom versus spikes. Nature has its legendary duels. Lion versus buffalo, eagle versus snake, and of course the most unlikely of all, snake versus hedgehog. On one side, the snake, flexible body, cold gaze, forked tongue tasting the air as if sampling the fear of its enemy. On the other, the hedgehog, a living ball of spikes, a tiny armored tank of the animal world. Both share the same goal, survival. The snake approaches silently, gliding like a whisper over dry leaves. It has venom, speed, and a confidence bordering arrogance. After all, how many have fallen from a single bite? With a strike fast enough to rival the blink of an eye, it believes everything that breathes is prey. But the hedgehog? The hedgehog is the anti-hero of this story. Small, clumsy, but with a superpower, spines. Thousands of them, ready to turn any attack into instant regret. When threatened, it doesn't run, it curls up, turns into a perfect ball, a mobile fortress that would make any medieval knight jealous. No exposed skin, no visible weak point, just spikes, spikes everywhere. The snake attacks. First strike, miss. Second, worse. Each attempt ends with a dry sound, the sound of fangs hitting a wall of living needles. And every touch is a lesson. Pain, surprise, frustration. The snake's fluid, elegant body now writhes in pure irritation. The hedgehog, impassive, almost mocking. It doesn't need to bite, it doesn't need to run. It just exists. Its natural shield is so efficient that in some species, not even the snake's venom has full effect. Yes, the little one has biological resistance to venom. It's like fighting someone immune to your finishing blow. The snake changes tactics, tries to circle, find a vulnerable spot, but the hedgehog, calm as one who's seen this story before, unrolls slightly, shows its snout, sniffs, and bites. That's right, it counterattacks. With small but precise teeth, it sinks one into the snake and returns to defense. A strike of patience and self-protection. While the snake expends energy, the hedgehog conserves. While the snake tries to be a predator, the hedgehog is a strategist. And that's how the duel ends. Not in blood, but in exhaustion. The snake, tired and pricked, retreats. The hedgehog stays there, calm as if nothing happened, ready to continue its night in search of insects. In the arena of nature, the victory goes to the hedgehog, not for brute strength, but for absolute defense. It doesn't need to be the fastest or deadliest, it's the most prepared. And now, dear viewer, let's be honest, who do you resemble more? The snake, attacking without thinking, overconfident in its venom. Or the hedgehog, small, cautious, but armored against life's stumbles? If your answer is neither, beware. Nature loves irony and may be preparing your next battle. Number 18, Crow versus Eagle. Crow versus Eagle, the war in the skies. The sky is the stage, the wind is the audience, and the clouds, well, the clouds are the neutral ground of this age-old dispute. On one side, the eagle, majestic, proud, the universal symbol of power and dominion. On the other, the crow, cunning, a strategist, the brain disguised as a shadow. If it were an aerial chess game, the eagle would be the queen, and the crow, the player behind the board. The eagle takes the stage with a resume that needs no introduction, wings spread nearly 2 meters wide, slicing the air with the authority of one who has never doubted its own power. It is the armored tank of the sky, fast, silent, and with vision so precise it can spot a moving rat 3 kilometers away. Its talons, sharp as guillotine blades, are both capture and execution tools. One dive and it's game over. But the crow is not made of muscle and brutality. It is made of mind. Where the eagle demands respect through strength, the crow conquers through intelligence. The strategist of the heights, the scientist of air currents. It observes, learns, plans, knows how to use wind, terrain, and even other birds' behavior to its advantage. It's been seen using sticks as tools, dropping nuts on asphalt for cars to crack them. The crow doesn't need to win with strength, it wins with logic. While the eagle hunts alone, the crow is social, works in groups, shares alerts, even deceives predators with coordinated tactics. It's the kind of fighter who battles not just with the body, but with the brain, a rare trait in the animal kingdom. The eagle, a symbol of solitary sovereignty, an elite predator that accepts no interference or partners. The sky is hers, or at least she believes it is, but if these two forces collide, the result is spectacular. The crow is cheeky, teases, steals food under the eagle's beak, mocks it. Ever seen a group of crows taunting an eagle mid-flight? They do it all the time. It's not bravery, it's strategy. They know it's too powerful to chase them all at once. The eagle tries to ignore, but when provoked, the air trembles. A flap of its wings is enough to put everything in perspective, including the crow. In brute strength, no contest. The eagle is the champion. One strike of its talons can pierce flesh and bone. In intelligence, the crow reigns. It plans, anticipates, and above all, deceives. If it were a fair fight, the crow would lose in seconds. But who said it plays fair? It doesn't fight to win, it fights to survive. And in that, it is master. So who wins? If it's about physical dominance, the eagle takes the trophy. If it's about cunning and adaptability, the crow rises to the podium. In a world where winning doesn't always mean crushing, the crow comes out ahead. Because in the end, while the eagle flies alone, the crow is never alone. It wins through mind, unity, and the ability to laugh in the face of danger. And you, viewer, who are you rooting for? Love raw power and majesty? Team Eagle. Prefer strategy, improvisation, and a touch of sarcasm? Maybe you have more in common with the crow than you think. After all, in the game of life, it's not always who flies highest that wins, but who knows when and how to flap their wings. Number 17, shark versus dolphin. Beneath the endless blue, where sunlight dissolves into mystery, the ocean hides two titans with opposite personalities. The shark, cold and ancient predator, and the dolphin, playful and clever strategist. One is pure brute force, the other, intelligence and teamwork in motion. Their encounter is like watching a gladiator face a martial arts master, and the ring belongs entirely to them. The shark enters with the presence of a natural tank, evolution sculpted body, muscles vibrating silently, teeth capable of tearing steel if the sea allowed. Its sense of smell detects a drop of blood kilometers away, and its electrical sensors even pick up prey's heartbeat. No need to chase, it just approaches. Cold, constant, inevitable. A finned steamroller. The dolphin. The dolphin is another story. It doesn't inspire fear, it inspires curiosity. While the shark advances with the rigidity of a lone hunter, the dolphin spins, jumps, plays, and plans. With a brain rivaling that of primates, it's a born strategist, uses sound as radar, communicates in codes, coordinates group attacks, and when it comes to defense, it transforms speed into a weapon. A well-aimed headbutt to a shark's snout can disorient the giant for minutes. Quick, precise, deadly strikes, like comparing a heavyweight boxer to a marine jiu-jitsu fighter. The shark relies on surprise, the dolphin relies on reasoning. When the ocean becomes a stage, the game changes. The shark has jaws that destroy, but the dolphin has tactics. It attacks in teams, distracts the predator, zigzags as if mocking nature. Curiously, dolphins have even been observed defending group members, and even humans, from shark attacks. Intelligence and empathy as lethal weapons. Irony, the ocean's happiest animal is actually one of the most dangerous to those who underestimate it. In a direct confrontation, the shark has size and strength on its side. A great white can reach 6 meters of pure destruction, but the dolphin has brains, reflexes, and strategy. It knows the enemy, anticipates moves, and attacks like a living arrow. 1, 2, 3 strikes to the shark's weak spot, its nose. Result, the predator retreats. The sea beast is defeated not by power, but by intelligence. Winner, dolphin. Because in the end, the ocean doesn't belong to those who bite hardest, but to those who think fastest. And now, tell me, viewer, did you expect that? Bet on the big toothy guy, right? Well, in the sea, like in life, size isn't everything. Sometimes the true predator is the one who laughs last and does flips while doing it. So next time you see a smiling dolphin, remember that cutie already made a shark flee in shame. Number 16, dog versus horse. Under the infinite blue sky where sunlight dissolves into mystery, the ocean hides two titans with opposite personalities. The shark, cold and ancient predator, and the dolphin, playful and clever strategist. One is pure brute force, the other, intelligence and teamwork in motion. Their encounter is like watching a gladiator face a martial arts master, and the arena belongs entirely to them. The shark enters with the presence of a natural tank, evolution sculpted body, muscles vibrating silently, teeth capable of tearing steel if the sea allowed. Its sense of smell detects a drop of blood kilometers away, and its electrical sensors even pick up prey's heartbeat. No need to chase, it just approaches. Cold, constant, inevitable. A finned steamroller. The dolphin. The dolphin is another story. It doesn't inspire fear, it sparks curiosity. While the shark advances with the rigidity of a lone hunter, the dolphin spins, jumps, plays, and plans. With a brain rivaling that of primates, it's a born strategist, uses sound as radar, communicates in codes, coordinates group attacks, and in defense, it can turn speed into a weapon. A well-aimed headbutt to a shark's snout can disorient the giant for minutes. Quick, precise, deadly strikes. Like comparing a heavyweight boxer to a marine jiu-jitsu fighter. The shark relies on shock and surprise. The dolphin relies on reasoning. When the ocean becomes a stage, the game changes. The shark has jaws that destroy, but the dolphin has tactics. It attacks in teams, distracts the predator, zigzags as if mocking nature. And the most curious part? Dolphins have been observed defending group members, and even humans, from shark attacks. Intelligence and empathy as lethal weapons. Irony: the ocean's happiest animal is actually one of the most dangerous for those who underestimate it. In a direct confrontation, the shark has size and strength. A great white can reach 6 meters of pure destruction, but the dolphin has brains, reflexes, and strategy. It knows the enemy, anticipates movements, and attacks like a living arrow. 1, 2, 3 strikes to the shark's weak spot, its nose. Result: the predator retreats. The sea beast is defeated not by power, but by intelligence. Winner: dolphin. Because in the end, the ocean doesn't belong to those who bite hardest, but to those who think fastest. And now, viewer, did you expect that? Bet on the big toothy guy, right? Well, in the sea, like in life, size isn't everything. Sometimes the true predator is the one who laughs last and performs flips while doing it. Next time you see a smiling dolphin, remember, this cute one already made a shark flee in shame. Number 15, bear versus moose. In the vast northern forests, where the wind cuts like a blade and the ground smells of pine and instinct, two titans face each other. On one side, the bear, lord of the woods, a colossus of muscle, fat, and fury wrapped in thick fur. On the other, the moose, majestic, courageous, a living fortress with antlers crafted as if by war sculptors. Silence, only the wind rustling through the trees. The tension is thick enough to cut with a broken branch. The bear roars first, a thunder of brute strength, a meat-shaped storm, 5 claws the size of kitchen knives, shoulders that could move logs, and a bite over 1,000 kilos of pressure. It's nature's war tank, slow but unstoppable. When it decides something is theirs, well, it usually is. Its attack is pure physics applied, weight, momentum, and chaos. But the moose is no side character. It is the elegant gladiator of the tundra. Over 600 kilos of sheer presence, legs that could kick a car, antlers with a 1.8 meter span, practically a living antenna of destruction. And unlike the bear, the moose is fast, very fast. It can reach 56 km/h in a sprint, a locomotive with hooves and attitude. Its gaze, that of one who knows it, can impale anything underestimating the distance between danger and too late. Imagine the scene. The bear charges, snorting, each step shaking the ground. The moose lowers its head, antlers ready, leg muscles tense like bowstrings. For a moment, it seems the world holds its breath. Impact, a dull crash of force against force. Dirt flies, branches break, the air fills with wild grunts and snorts. The bear tries to grab, the moose counters with a sideways blow that would make a professional boxer reconsider their career. But the bear endures, always endures. It doesn't fight on impulse, it fights out of hunger. The moose tries to retreat, but the bear is on top. A 400-kilo embrace, claws embedded, and the forest returns to silence. In the end, the furry titan stands, panting, victorious. Winner, bear. For strength, endurance, and simply being a tank with paws and an appetite that knows no defeat. But let's be fair, the moose put on a show. If it were a fight of honor, it would receive a standing ovation. Nature doesn't award medals for effort, only survival. And now, tell me, who would you bet on? The bear, the heavyweight that doesn't know give up, or the moose, the forest knight, facing death head on with antlers raised as banners? Think carefully, because if you ever encounter one on the trail, hope it's just a squirrel seeking attention. Number 14, tiger versus wild boar. In Asia's humid jungle, the air vibrates with tension before the confrontation. Leaves tremble, birds fall silent. On one side, the Bengal tiger, absolute king of its territory, muscles like steel cables, eyes glowing like lanterns in the dim. On the other, the wild boar, compact, tense, armed with tusks that would envy a medieval knight. The forest tank, pure form. The tiger moves like liquid shadow. Every step, a predator's poem, smooth, precise, silent. Its body body can exceed 250 kilos of pure force, powered by legs that can topple buffalo in a single leap. It doesn't need to run, it decides the moment, and when it does, it's as if the jungle itself inhales before the strike. The wild boar, on the other hand, knows nothing of fear. Weighing up to 150 kilos of muscle and concentrated courage, it doesn't flee. It confronts. Curved, sharp tusks up to 20 centimeters long, capable of tearing tendons, opening bellies, leaving scars even tigers respect. Neck thick, reinforced like a natural shield, skin, biological armor, and perhaps most impressive, its mind is sheer stubbornness. It fights until the end. This encounter is a study in contrast. Tiger is technique, nature's martial art. Boar is raw instinct, bring it on. When they face off, the tiger growls, lowers its body, calculates distance. The boar grunts, digs with front hooves, charges like a projectile of flesh and rage. Impact, a symphony of force, a thunder of bones and claws. The tiger dodges, spins, attacks from behind, claws sinking into the boar's back. But the boar resists, spins, lands a headbutt, making the feline retreat surprised. For a moment, the jungle holds its breath. Two warriors from different worlds measuring each other's courage. Nature doesn't roll dice. Patience is the tiger's weapon. It waits, circles, feigns disinterest. When the boar slips, the feline leaps like teleportation, and the forest hears again the sound of the supreme predator doing what it was born to do. Winner. Tiger. Technique beats stubbornness. Precision overcomes impulse. The boar fought like a gladiator, but the tiger is an elemental force. It hunts not out of anger, but destiny. And you, reading from your couch, admit it. You rooted for the boar, didn't you? We all love an underdog, the one who defies the impossible. But remember, in the jungle, charm saves no one. Number 13, coyote versus horned goat. In the arid desert, coyote and horned goat face off. Cunning versus brute force. The coyote is agile, strategic, runs up to 60 km/h, uses precise teeth. It wins with brains, not power. Observes, analyzes, strikes at the perfect moment, almost telepathically. The goat is pure endurance, steel muscles, impeccable balance, horns up to 14 kilos, capable of withstanding 800 kilo impacts. Each charge is devastating, a living wall that never retreats. While the coyote depends on evasion and tactics, the goat endures, persists, dominates the terrain. In direct combat, brain versus muscle, the coyote's strategy is limited against the goat's strength and courage. Patient or not, the coyote tires. The goat remains firm, impenetrable. Result, horned goat wins. The natural tank overpowers the strategist. And you, viewer, would you face this horned giant head on or slip away quietly? Number 12, parrot versus cat. In the sunny corner of the yard, parrot and cat face off. Sky versus silence. The parrot, green and theatrical, uses voice as a weapon, intelligence to provoke, open cages, even fool the owner. Each feather pulses confidence, each scream, chaos. The cat, silent feline, controlled breathing, ready muscles, is a born predator. Every leap is calculated, distance, wind, reaction time. Patience is its art, speed its weapon. The encounter is psychological. The parrot provokes, the cat observes. In the air, the bird dominates. On the ground, the feline prevails. Strength, cat. Social intelligence, parrot. Speed, tie. Endurance, cat. In the end, the cat wins in direct combat, better prepared for short, precise clashes. But the parrot triumphs morally, flying and screaming victory even in defeat. And you, viewer, would you side with the cat's lethal silence or the parrot's chaotic chatter? Number 11, frog versus wasps. The swamp is silent, water reflecting the sky. Suddenly, the buzz of wasps, small flying machines with lethal stingers. On the other side, the frog, fat, moist, impassive ambush master. It doesn't run, it waits. When the opportunity arises, its tongue launches like a missile, striking the target with precision. The wasps, however, have tactics. Potent venom, group attack, and chitin armor make them an aerial storm. The frog can repel some with its viscous skin and toxins, but the collective fury complicates everything. Individually, the frog could win with a precise strike, but together, the coordination and strength of the wasps prevail. Result, wasps win, not by brute force, but by teamwork. And you, viewer, would you rely on the patience and precision of the frog or the furious unity of the wasps? Number 10. Tiger versus bear. The tiger, pure poetry in motion, stripes blending into shadows, muscles vibrating like steel cables. Every step calculated, every gaze a silent sentence. Lone, stealthy, deadly predator with 10-centimeter claws and a powerful bite, targeting the neck and eliminating prey quickly. The bear, by contrast, is concentrated brute force. Up to 600 kilos of muscle and fat, capable of breaking logs and lifting rocks with ease. Where the tiger is a surgeon, the bear is a wrecking ball. It endures, withstands blows, wears down opponents with almost infinite patience. Tiger has agility, speed, and technique. Bear, endurance, power, and defensive instinct. In a direct confrontation, the tiger's cunning shines, but the marathon of brutality favors the bear. Result: bear wins, not for elegance, but for strength and resilience. And you, viewer, do you prefer the tiger's lethal precision or the bear's crushing weight? Number 10. Tiger versus bear. The tiger, pure poetry in motion, stripes blending into shadows, muscles vibrating like steel cables. Every step calculated, every gaze a silent sentence. Lone, stealthy, deadly predator with 10-centimeter claws and a powerful bite, targeting the neck and eliminating prey quickly. The bear, by contrast, is concentrated brute force. Up to 600 kilos of muscle and fat, capable of breaking logs and lifting rocks with ease. Where the tiger is a surgeon, the bear is a wrecking ball. It endures, withstands blows, wears down opponents with almost infinite patience. Tiger has agility, speed, and technique. Bear, endurance, power, and defensive instinct. In a direct confrontation, the tiger's cunning shines, but the marathon of brutality favors the bear. Result: bear wins, not for elegance, but for strength and resilience. And you, viewer, do you prefer the tiger's lethal precision or the bear's crushing weight? Number 9. Python versus porcupine. On one side, the python, a living rope, silent, pure muscle, and lethal patience. No venom or claws, it wins with the art of constriction, coils, squeezes, transforms the enemy into silence. A body of pure strength, capable of bending bones and stopping hearts. On the other, the porcupine, nature's small tank, slow, but covered with quills up to 30 centimeters long, each with barbs that pierce and tear flesh. It doesn't attack, it waits. One mistake, and the opponent learns pain. The python, confident, tries to coil. Fatal error. Quills pierce scales and muscles. The tighter it squeezes, the more it hurts itself. There are real cases of pythons dying after trying to swallow porcupines, punctured from the inside. Strength versus defense, and defense wins. Python dominates in raw power, but the porcupine wins in effectiveness. It survives. Result: porcupine wins, because sometimes the best attack is not being touched. And you? Would you risk that kind of embrace? Number 8. Wolf versus honey badger. Rattel. Imagine a dry plain, the wind cutting through golden grasses. On one side, the wolf, symbol of strategy and collective strength. On the other, the honey badger, the rattel, pure stubbornness and courage in beast form. The wolf is tactical, intelligent, and resilient. Its bite can break bones, senses are sharp, and even alone, it's a formidable predator. It calculates risks and only attacks when certain of victory. The rattel, in contrast, is chaos incarnate, small, but with thick, loose skin that protects against bites and venom. It confronts snakes, jackals, and even leopards. Its claws and teeth are brutal weapons, and its audacity borders on madness. The wolf thinks like a strategist. The rattel acts like a fearless warrior. Efficiency versus courage. Intellect versus tenacity. In a direct confrontation, the wolf has the advantage. Faster, larger, and a precise hunting instinct. The honey badger is a tank, but intelligence wins over fury. Result: wolf wins. But tell me, viewer, are you the calculating wolf or the indomitable rattel? Choose wisely. Stubbornness is a form of power too. Number 7. Fox versus wild goose. Fox versus wild goose. Elegance against feathered fury. At dawn, the damp field becomes the stage for an unlikely duel. The wild goose, chest puffed and wings spread, defends its territory bravely. On the other side, the fox, symbol of cunning, observes patiently and silently. Small but lethal, it moves like a shadow. Teeth precise, mind calculating. The goose is pure force. Weighing over 5 kilos, wings capable of breaking fingers, serrated beak leaving marks. It doesn't flee, it confronts. Pure fury, a feathered warrior driven by instinct. The fox plays chess, the goose plays rugby. She deceives and attacks at the perfect moment. He charges, confident. In direct combat, the goose impresses, but nature favors the thinker. The fox uses strategy and reflexes to win without overexposing herself. Result, fox wins, not by strength, but by intelligence. And you, viewer, do you side with cunning or courage? Be careful, the fox might already know your answer. Number 6. Lion versus elephant. Under the scorching savanna sun, the lion appears. Muscles tense, golden mane flickering like fire in the wind. The king of beasts has teeth that tear leather and claws capable of felling buffalo in a single leap. Agility, lethal, strategy, inherited from 1,000 successful hunts. But in front stands the elephant, a colossus of tons armed with tusks like ivory spears and strength that bends trees like twigs. Its skin is thick as a wall, and a single trunk strike can launch a predator into the air. The lion is fast, fierce, and intelligent, but the elephant is pure living power, a tank with a heart. If the savannah had an official ring, the victory would go to the elephant for endurance and brute strength. And you there, still thinking size doesn't matter? Try facing a 6-ton wall and then tell me who roars louder. Number 5. Eagle versus turtle, majestic and lethal. The eagle is the definition of aerial power, with eyesight detecting a rabbit over 3 km away and talons exerting up to 500 kilos of pressure per inch. It dominates the sky and decides who lives or becomes lunch. Its wings cut through the wind like sharp blades, each dive a sentence. The turtle, calm and armored, relies on defense. Its shell is a natural fortress, fused bones covered with keratin, strong enough to withstand falls, bites, and time itself. It doesn't run, but it doesn't yield either. Patience-made animal. If the battle were strategic, the turtle would win through longevity and endurance. But in brute strength and environmental dominance, the crown goes to the eagle. The air is its kingdom, and from above, no one escapes. So, viewer, admit it. You just looked up, didn't you? Better watch out. It might be judging you as potential lunch. Number 4, leopard versus porcupine. Imagine the silent savanna, sun shining gold, wind lifting dust, and there it is. The leopard, the spotted ghost. Muscles tense, gaze fixed, every step a promise of lethal precision. With speed up to 58 km/h and claws sharp as scalpels, it is the symbol of the perfect hunt. Strength, agility, and silence. But this time, the opponent is different. From the bushes comes the porcupine, nature's spiny tank. Robust body, calm temperament, and armor that would make any medieval warrior reconsider an attack. Each quill is a miniature spear, ready to pierce any who get too close. Unlike many think, it doesn't shoot quills. Contact is enough. One mistake, and the predator leaves with a painful souvenir. The leopard analyzes, circles, looks for a blind spot, but each move is calculated and the porcupine twists like a living shield. Speed doesn't beat caution here. The leopard tries its usual lateral attack. The porcupine curls, quills whispering a stern, "Don't even try." Brute force and strategy favor the leopard. Defense and resilience favor the porcupine. Like a sharp sword against a steel wall, one slip and you get hurt. Result, porcupine wins, not by offense, but by defensive intelligence. Weakness becomes fortress, patience becomes weapon, and you, viewer, which side would you choose? The agile predator or the small, spiny warrior who wins without running? Number 3, crocodile versus hippopotamus. Picture the scene: muddy African riverbanks, relentless sun gilding murky waters. On one side, the crocodile, still discreet, eyes just breaking the surface. Master of ambush, nature's patience machine. Its 80 sharp teeth await the perfect moment. Each bite a hydraulic trap, applying over 2 tons of force. When it closes, it's final. No cotral plaisir in nature can undo it. On the other side, the hippopotamus arrives, demanding respect. Armored tank of the animal kingdom, pure confidence and bad mood. Over 3 tons, mouth opening like a portal to another dimension. Tusks as large as butcher knives. It doesn't bite, it crushes. When it claims territory, even the river dares not resist. The crocodile rules calm waters until the hippo arrives. While the reptile relies on silence and precision, the mammal is pure brute force and suicidal courage. Crocodile waits. Hippo doesn't even notice. If approached, the giant reacts like a beast awakened from a nap. A single jaw strike can crush a smaller predator's skull effortlessly. In theory, the crocodile has the surprise attack advantage. In practice, it's at a severe disadvantage near a hippo. 3 tons moving at 30 km weight in water is a reminder that size and speed can coexist. At nature's mercy, winner, hippopotamus. No ambush, no angle, no bite can overcome this muscular colossus. Crocodile may hunt zebras, fish, and distracted noose perfectly, but against a hippo, it's just a very cautious spectator. And you, if you were a crocodile, would you challenge a hippo out of curiosity? Exactly, neither would I. Number 2, cobra versus mongoose. Imagine a dry field, sun high, silence broken only by rustling leaves. On one side, slithering like a living shadow, the cobra, cold, silent, lethal. On the other, small, agile, bold, the mongoose, confronting death head on, and usually winning. The cobra, queen of ambushes, is no fool. It doesn't need to run or roar, just wait. Its body, a muscle bow, coils ready to strike. One mistake, and venom transforms any creature into memory. Pure biological precision, thermal sensors, ultra-fast reflexes, jaws opening almost 180 degrees. A predator made to kill silently. The mongoose. The mongoose is a different story. Animal equivalent of a martial artist fueled by caffeine. Small? Yes. Weak? Never. Agile as a cat, reflexes defying physics. When the cobra raises its hood and hisses, the mongoose doesn't retreat. It studies, analyzes every move, vibration, and muscle tension. Then, when the cobra strikes like lightning, the mongoose is already gone. A sidestep, millimetric dodge, and a precise bite to the head. A duel of timing and precision. The mongoose masters it. Plus, it has a secret weapon, partial venom resistance. Its body evolved to withstand doses that would kill most animals in seconds. Not invincible, but bold enough to hunt what others avoid. Result, mongoose wins. Survival and triumph against the venomous elite. A reminder, size doesn't define the champion. Reflexes and audacity do. And you, viewer, which side would you choose? The cold, venomous, or the small, cheeky daredevil? Watch out, the mongoose might be watching you too. Number 1, lion versus African buffalo. In the golden savanna, the lion emerges, pure majesty in muscle and confidence. King of the jungle needs no crown, its mane does the job. Powerful paws, bone-crushing teeth, roar, chilling even the wind's blood. Supreme predator, strategist, patient, attacks only when victory is certain. Across, the African buffalo embodies nature's raw chaos. 1,000 kilos of pure fury and resilience. Horns curved like blades, body a tank covered in hide and rage. Unlike the lion, it doesn't hunt, it survives. Threatened, it becomes a horned locomotive. In direct duel, the buffalo's blind strength surpasses the lion's lethal elegance. The king may be brave, but this opponent is an entire empire on 4 legs. Winner, African buffalo, the only one capable of making the king think twice before roaring. And you, on the bold king side or the wild tanks? Choose wisely. If the buffalo hears you, run, don't ask. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Check out other interesting content appearing on your screen now, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.